guys. Um, Injuries today: Mo Hurst out, Hasty's out, Elijah is limited, Josh Norman limited, Lake and Tomlinson limited, and Trent Williams will have the day off that day.
Is there any update on Greenlaw or even D Ford?
Yeah, Greenlaw. I mean, we activated him. I think it's his second week practicing, maybe third. He'll go today, and hopefully he'll be ready to go this week. D Ford, we should activate tomorrow. We're not going to practice him today. We don't like him to go 3 days, so he'll get out there tomorrow and hopefully be good to go for Sunday.
You Minnesota has issues right now, obviously, with Everson Griffin, but they're missing other guys on the defensive line. How does that adjust your guys' preparation going into this game?
Not at all. I mean, they're two good players, so it's unfortunate for them if they don't have them, but it's not going to change what they do.
Obviously, every week is important for you guys, but when you have a game like this where it's another NFC team and you're kind of in that playoff conversation, does that enter into your conversation? I mean, is that a talking point at all for the team?
It's not a talking point. I mean, if people are aware of it, I would assume so. I mean, you usually have an idea of the other team's record and stuff like that going into it, but no, I think they've been battling back to this season just like we have. Two teams are probably playing their better ball of the year right now, and so I think our players are very well aware of from the film, from what they've been doing, their numbers in a bunch of areas. It's going to be a real tough game.
There was a play on that first drive down near the goal line where I think every field position guy was playing a different position than what he typically plays. Jordan was a fullback, et cetera, et cetera. What, I mean, I know that's not novel anymore, but it used to be like your running back was your running back and he always stayed there. Just for you, was there an influence as far as a coach or someone that where you saw like, hey, you know, the tight end can be a fullback or running back can be a wide receiver? I mean, was there an big influence for you, or is that something you came upon your own?
I mean, I just think it's been that way for a long time. I remember stories I heard growing up, which that play, I mean, that was just because of man coverage and to see where everyone lines up is hard when they're not where it's expected. But and a lot of people do that in the league. I remember back a long time ago when my dad had to come out here and live for 2 months without us and learn the Niners playbook, the Bill Walsh West Coast system. You know, he got fired from Denver and came here as a coordinator. And I just remember stories of him telling me that, you know, he had to learn their whole thing, which was awesome because they have it all on video and he could just watch all those guys coach it for over the years. But then he started changing some personnel groupings and stuff like Jerry had ran for a while. Then he'd have Tom Rathman run it. And he said for a while there was a revolt because it was Jerry's played, not Tom's, or vice versa and stuff like that. So then you have to explain that you could just change the personnel grouping. So I want to say that in particular, but because I think that's how football is for all of us. But I don't know if it always was.
You said earlier that this might be the biggest wide receiver group that you've ever had. I'm just wondering whether you're seeing the results of that in sort of the downfield blocking, that sort of gritty element of that position.
Yeah, I mean, I think our guys have been pretty gritty since we've been here in terms of blocking, but all with that mindset. But when you have that mindset with some bigger guys, you know, especially all three of them, you know, just not all height, but just weight and their attitude and how gritty they are definitely has an effect. And I think you can see that on tape this year, and especially in these last few games.
In the backfield, what kind of confusion can that create with the opposing defense, just like getting lined up?
I mean, it depends what coverages they're in and stuff, you know. Man coverage, you know, who's got him when he's outside, who's got him in the backfield, and, you know, it changes. Those are different run fits, confuse linebackers and stuff like that on the runs and the passes, and you just got to count for everything. You know, it's same with motion, same with where a guy's going to line up. There's a lot of different stuff for it.
The wide receivers, Funches coming in, is the plan just, you know, a veteran guy, just kind of get him up to speed in case you need him for later?
Yeah, you know, the personnel department, John, all those guys, they try to stay up on all that stuff, and they bring you guys in almost every week, and they liked his workout and stuff, and we're going to give him a shot here, see how he is this week.
Do you see the practice squad as kind of a rotating group, or like, what's your philosophy on what you want to accomplish with the practice?
I mean, you would love guys to develop on practice squad, but that's what's I mean, just a 53-man roster isn't enough. We have five receivers. One guy gets hurt. The practice squad guy's dressing the next week and being a part of that game plan. For a while, we've only had 4 linebackers. With Dre being on short-term IR, so the next guy up, we've only had 3 safeties, which means our backup safety at one position has been practice squad each week. So that's why you always wish there was a minor league. That's why it's hard to develop a practice squad quarterback too. There's just not enough backups, so most of those guys, they're labeled practice squad, but they're usually your 3rd string because you don't have that every spot.
I think Marcus is around 230 pounds. Any thought about doing a Jordan Matthews with him and to see if he could convert to tight end at all?
No, we're just gonna. I haven't seen him. We haven't seen him for a few years, and I think he had an injury in training camp, and it sounds like he's healthy now. So we're just gonna take a look at him, see how to use him.
Getting out of Juwan Jennings, kind of what you thought you might get out of Jalen Hurd in terms of a bigger body, kind of mentality out there.
No, Jalen was different just because Jalen was a college running back, so we knew he could have played there. We also thought he was going to be a tight end eventually. Also could be a fullback and a receiver, so that was a little bit different. Juwan's a receiver all the way. It's nice that he does have a big body and that size and stuff. He's similar to Mo Sanu and how he's wired and things like that. And Mo did a hell of a job for us throughout the year, and it's been nice that he allowed Juwan to get more ready. And Juwan's done a good job when his opportunities come here these last couple of weeks.
What do you mean by how he's wired, how they're similar?
Just how they're wired in terms of how they create separation with size and however their speed is, their agility, their hands, just certain ways that they are wired to get open. Kind of depends on type of routes and stuff you choose for people. Each one of our guys is wired a little bit differently.
Kyle, annual Thanksgiving question. What are your favorite Thanksgiving traditions? And then also, do you or your family participate in Black Friday, Cyber Monday stuff at all?
And what?
Black Friday.
No, I've never heard of it. I've heard of Black Friday.
Yeah,
But
that's what I said, sorry.
Oh, sorry. No, I don't. I really don't get much of Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving's awesome for us because we speed up the whole schedule, and so it feels like we get a little bit of vacation because on Thursdays, usually you get home at 10, but we speed up the schedule so we can get home by like 7. And then usually when I walk in the door, I see about 12 people very upset with me and very hungry and very irritated because they didn't get to do it normally at 2 like they usually do. But when they come to visit us, they got to wait till I get home, and then I go to bed pretty quick after, and they get annoyed with me, and I tell them just let me go to bed because if we win, then I'll hang out a lot more on Sunday night. So.
One more Thanksgiving question. Do you have a favorite Thanksgiving dish?
Yeah, growing up, my mom always made this noodles dish that was really good, and my wife makes this really good green bean casserole.
Big transition from that. Yes, but after you made the trade in March, you said, Jimmy is generally better when he's ticked off, and if Jimmy plays really well and stays healthy, it'd be a great problem for you guys to have. I took that to mean, I think we all took it to mean, you have to make a decision after this season. Do you stick with Jimmy? Is there a chance, he stays here in 2022 and remains your starter?
I think there's a chance for anything, but I think we made it pretty clear that Trey's our guy of the future whenever that'll happen. But it was also nothing against Jimmy that we took him, but we do believe Trey will be our guy of the future. And like I said, I think it'll be really hard if Jimmy's on it for him to beat him out right away. So it's kind of going like that right now, and not thinking much past that.
Teams change so much year to year in the NFL, but is this 49ers and the Vikings, in terms of coaching style, personnel systems of football, pretty similar to the teams that faced each other back in the playoffs after 2019?
Yeah, I believe so. Zim's done what he's done for a long time, and so has our coaching staff. And I know we have a different defense coordinator, but still a very similar style and very similar defense. So schematically, I think it's very similar. And usually there's a lot of turnover in 3 years, but you go back and watch those games, and they're still some of the main guys, especially on their side of the ball, and you can see our guys too.
I have a football philosophy question. You mentioned you wish there was a minor league. Do you think it could work like a spring league?
Anything could work. I don't know if it could make money. I don't know how that could go for anything, but that's just what's tough. It's tough to develop guys when, you get only OTAs in training camp, and those are getting taken away a lot. So it's really good for veterans who've made it, who don't need to be developed, but everyone else needs time, and especially at certain positions like quarterback and things like that. But it's almost impossible to do that with just the practice squad.
I'll tell you some more. How closely did you guys look at Justin Jefferson in that draft last year, and what have you seen from him? Why is he?
Yeah, we looked at him real close. We looked at all those receivers real close, and we were huge fans. And he's, I think he's one of the best receivers in the league, if not the best. So I think he's been unbelievable. I love his style of play. Reminds me a ton of Emmanuel Sanders back in the day. But he's a hell of a player.
He's come on with sacks, I guess, in the last 3 games. But were you seeing things before the sacks actually came that showed progress with him?
Yeah, I mean, Arden's got good movement, and he can create some edges on guys. So when you get some one-on-ones in there, if depending on which way the center goes, he's got as good of a chance to beat a guard or tackle one-on-one. So he's got those pass rush skills, and I think we've been playing a little bit better coverage here lately. We've been aggressive in our man, more aggressive in our zone, and I think that leads to our D-line also getting more opportunities.
Last one.
Laken Tomlinson, is this his best season?
Maybe. I can't tell you till after. I mean, Lake's been pretty consistent for us. I mean, he shows up every single week. He's been a very solid foundation for us over the years. He is having a good year, but I think it's similar to his other years that he's had. But I'll tell you after the year when I study all the cut-ups.
Can you shed some light on Trent Williams' performance at this point in the season and what you expect from him in Sunday's game?
I mean, I expect Trent to be one of the best players on the field every week. Everyone knows how talented Trent is, and the way he plays. He enjoys playing, and he's been playing at an extremely high level this year. I probably would say it's probably the best year that Trent's had, just up to now, just consistency and playing up to that level every week. But we're just past halfway there, so he's got a lot more to go, and we need him to play like an A player this week too.
Are you talking about for his entire career? This is the best he's played?
Yeah, I'd say so. Just
At his age? Does that shock you?
no, because we see him in practice. If you would have, you look at his age, I mean, he's still, to me, the most talented guy. I mean, I don't see many people more talented than him. So usually as you get older in age, the talent goes, and you still can execute at a level with wisdom and experience. But I see the same talent, and I think he's got a lot more wisdom and experience.
All right, appreciate it, guys.
All right. Thanks, guys.
Afternoon.
I think we know how Kyle Shanahan feels about Kirk Cousins after all these years. What's your thoughts on Cousins and what makes him a good quarterback?
I think Cousins is really playing at a very high level right now. I think he's making really good decisions with the ball. Has a ton of playmakers, out there helping him make those plays. But I think Kurt is just one of the best at when it comes to delivering the ball, getting it out, and making the correct read and going where the ball needs to go. And if it's not there, he's probably one of the best at getting it to his check down and allowing them to, get 4 or 5 yards there. So when you see Kurt, he's just very decisive quarterback and also a very smart quarterback who puts those guys in a lot of good situations.
Have you gone through a process, or your players, have they gone through the process of trying to figure out, how every position group, every level fits together, and, how you coach them, how you want them coached, position coaches and personnel all coming together? Has that been a process?
I think it has been a process going on. We have new coaches that are here with us, just learning my style of how we do things. So it has been a process, but I think overall we've had a core of guys that have been here that it hasn't hasn't had to change much, and it's been very smooth transition with the guys, and our guys understand how we play, and it's not about me. It's about the Niner way and the type of players that we bring in. That's the most important thing. Like guys who love football, guys who are passionate about it, guys who are going to play with a ton of energy. Those are the type of guys that we bring in the organization. So from that standpoint, it's easy to coach guys when you got the right people in. So we don't have to worry about the person. We just get the player correct with their techniques and where they're supposed to be. But we have guys who love football, love playing football, and they're excited about it. So that makes it easy.
So what do you think we've seen, the last couple of weeks? It's been pretty good. What do you think we've seen? What has come together in these last few games?
I don't think it's anything drastic that happened. I mean, we're doing the same thing. Guys are just owning the fundamentals. I think I talked earlier a couple weeks ago when things didn't go well, in the Arizona game that everyone talks about, but we didn't play good fundamental football. We didn't tackle well. We weren't where we need to be. We didn't make plays on the ball. And when you don't do that, you don't have everybody running to the ball like they should. Everybody's not taking the proper angles. When you do that, no matter what week it is, you're not going to have a good outing. When you're giving up explosive, it's not going to be good. So what you've seen over the past couple of weeks is guys are just owning the fundamentals. Guys are just doing their job. Coverage is tight. Guys are being where they're supposed to be, and guys are just doing their job. And that's the one thing that happened. We had a letdown, and that wasn't us. And it was very uncharacteristic of our defense that particular week. But, I mean, how guys have been playing, that's who we are. That's who our guys have been.
Arden Key with the Raiders, he's had the reputation of a guy that kind of flashed on you a little, but never quite finished. In fact, I don't think he ever had a sack. And now he's got 3 in the last 3 games. What have you seen from him since he got here and his progress to now?
Yeah, I see Arden as a very, very athletic rusher. And one thing that Arden has that you can't coach is length. Arden has very long arms, which allows him to be able to get to the quarterback and get him down. He's very good when he's rushing inside on guards. I think that's probably his best suit. But Arden has just done a great job of working with Coach Kasaric and our stunts and games that we work. He's really taken grasp of it and really owned it, and he's just doing a good job of executing those particular stunts, and he's done a good job of just rushing when he has his one-on-one opportunities. He's come away with pressure on the quarterback, and he's gotten the quarterback down in some very critical situations that has helped us to win some games.
The other day, Nick Bosa was talking about how he's kind of improved his plan for taking on the double teams and all the things that are thrown at him. I'm curious, what kind of growth have you seen in him from just kind of the way he approaches the game on the mental side?
Yeah, I think overall, Bosa's he's a young player, and as young players, you think you know it all, but you have to keep going and learning, and the more you do it, right, the more experience you have, and I think that's what we see with Bosa. He's just gaining experience, and the more experience he has, he's being able to play smarter, understand how teams are trying to attack him, and understanding how we need to counteract that so he can still be who he is and be a dominant player who can affect the quarterback. So Bosa is definitely – he's learning, he's gaining experience, and he continues to get better each week. That's the most impressive thing about him. He continues to get better. You can see he's in a really good space physically, and he's doing an outstanding job for us.
How do you maybe help him? Because he was talking earlier in the season that he was frustrated with all the double teams and stuff and kind of would get defeated a little bit, even on the field. How do you kind of help him through that, knowing that, hey, you're not going to get there even 1 out of 10 times probably?
Yeah.
How do you get through that?
Yeah, you tell him he's one of the best players out there. They're going to put 2 on you. So that's the one thing he has to understand. He's garnered a lot of attention, which is rightfully so. He deserves it because of how effective he is. And that's a compliment to him first and foremost. That teams are paying that much attention to him because he is a guy who can wreck games. So you're appreciative of that, from other teams, but we got to find a way as coaches to move him around, to put him in better situations so he doesn't have to worry about those double teams as well.
It's obviously just the 49ers, but your offense has a lot of positionless players. Is from a defensive perspective, when a team does that, what is the advantage or what is the challenge for a defense when the fullback is split wide, for example?
Yeah, I think the way our offense operates with juice, Debo, you never know where they're going to align, and that's the beauty of our offense and the way they scheme up plays. It's you don't know where guys are going to align, so as a defense, you can't do too much because you don't know where these guys are. So you can't do too much schematically. You just want to be sound, want guys to know exactly where they need to be, no matter where those guys are in those different positions. But it does make it tough on a defense if you're trying to match up certain guys and you don't know where they're going to be. It can make it very challenging for teams defensively. And I think our offense is probably one of the best in the league at moving guys around, putting guys in certain positions. I know they probably never thought Debo would be lined up at running back and making plays there. So it's a credit to those guys. Kyle and the staff has done a tremendous job of, as a coach, your job is to put players in position to make plays. And that's what our guys, I think, do the best in the league at.
What's your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
Favorite Thanksgiving dish would be the macaroni and cheese and the sweet potatoes.
Along those lines, what's your family's Thanksgiving traditions? And do you or anyone in your family do any Black Friday shopping?
Our Thanksgiving tradition has always been all the family always came together in one place, and everybody brought their best dish. So that was your one time of the year to try out everybody's best. So it's always fun to just have family around, good eating. And with the Black Friday, I haven't done that in a while, and it's now everything is online, so you don't have to worry about getting out in stores and running to Walmart or Target and standing in long lines. So you don't have to worry about that anymore, doing it online now. So I don't get involved with the Black Friday. Yeah.
That's good.
All right.
Thank you.
Good. Thanks, guys.
What's the season been like for you?
It's been pretty good. Started off strong, mid-season, had a little dip, then we back to where we want to be at.
You've had success rushing from the inside. Did you do that a lot in the past, whether in college or with the Raiders?
I didn't do it in college too much, but in Oakland, I rushed inside a lot. So
Why does that seem to suit you? Or if you think you're better inside than outside?
I don't know, probably because I'm quicker inside. I'm quicker than most guys inside. I can bend, pretty much know the protections on when the center's sliding away from me and when I'm going to have my one-on-one. And then you just have to beat your one-on-one.
The change of scenery has obviously been good for you in terms of your performance and the way that you're playing them. Was there a point when you got here, either in training camp or during the season, where you really felt locked in, like, all right, this is home, this is place for me?
I was training camp. Really started in OTAs a little bit. I got a little hints in OTAs. Then training camp came around, and it was good just seeing how everybody here operate. Seeing my D-line, the D-line, we brothers now, so seeing how we work, how we go out every day and work, and it was just I was just an add-on piece here, really.
What is it? What's kind of captured you here? What is it? The coaching, the teammates, the system, the culture? Like, what is it?
It's everything. Like culture is everything. So it starts from the top. make sure that us as athletes, we have everything we need to succeed and play good and play fast on Sundays. Man, it's players first here. This is a player first organization, and who wouldn't love it?
What does that mean, players first?
Player first. Pretty much. So if players feeling kind of tired, body wise, things of that sort, the coaches will see that during the week, and then might cancel a period or two or something like that to make our legs get back under us. The coaches listen as far as if we see something out there on the field during game day, we'll come to the sideline, talk about it, and we'll get it corrected. So, I mean, the food is nice. I mean, it's a lot. So that's really what it is.
You've had obviously criticism throughout your career, where the sacks, all this stuff. Did you ever lose confidence?
Oh, no. Confidence always been. No, I lied. Actually, I did early on. I did lose a little bit of confidence having my success at LSU. Been talked about then. First couple years in the league, not really a blink of Arden Key. So it kind of did something to me a little bit, but I kept fighting, kept working. I never stopped working, and now I'm here.
You obviously probably left some friends with the Raiders, even if things didn't go there the way you wanted to go. And some pretty awful things have happened to them. Have you kept one eye on that at all and kept in contact with any of your friends, or is it just kind of in your rearview mirror?
Oh, yeah, no, definitely have friends over there. And we talk pretty much probably twice a week. Some guys more than others. But we do have a great relationship. We still have that relationship.
Arden, what are your favorite Thanksgiving traditions, and do you participate in any Black Friday type of shopping?
Nah, I ain't participating in the Black Friday shop since probably college. My favorite dessert is sweet apple pie. I mean, not sweet apple, sweet potato pie. I like fried turkey. I ain't ate chitlins in years, but I'll take a few. I'll take some chitlins too. I'll take some. Other than that, and dressing. Other than that, I'm good.
Are three seasons with the Raiders, 3 sacks. Last 3 weeks here, 3 sacks. So what's happening? Why is that?
Oh, I didn't know that. Why is that? More opportunity. We're able to stop the run in order to be able to rush the passer. Last couple of weeks, we weren't able to rush the passer like we wanted to because we didn't stop the run like that. 3rd and 2s, 3rd and 3s, you don't really get that opportunity to pass rush. But you go 3-6 and plus, then you got the opportunity to pass rush. So we've stopped the run last couple of weeks to be able to allow us to pass rush.
You're playing on the edge that from afar you got to see what Bosa could do, but now that you're his teammate, what have you observed about what makes him so good in the way he plays?
Oh man, film speaks for itself. So there's no surprise or anything that he do. He got his brother, his dad. I mean, he's been blessed to have people that's been here before him to actually teach him and walk him the way to get to where he at now. So I mean, it was all set up. It was all a plan because he had people before him to do it. So it's much easier on him than it was, say, his dad, who probably was the first generation guy in the NFL.
Sorry, you mentioned that you lost your confidence at some point. How did you regain it? What kind of things did you do? Was there any mental strength work?
When I say lost it, I didn't lose it completely. It was just watching film like, damn, I'm so close, but I can't. That kept me going. Looking on film and being like, damn, how you so close? Oh, you just an inch away. You just a fingertip away. So that kept the confidence pretty much stagnant, I should say. Once the sacks started falling in, then the confidence just shot up.
Thank you, Art.
Thank you. Thank y'all.
None today?
All right, I'm just gonna start. Jimmy, what's your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
It's a good one to start with. I'm a stuffing guy personally. Stuffing, cranberry sauce. Those are two good go-tos.
Can I do a Thanksgiving follow-up? What are your favorite traditions? And do you do any Black Friday, holiday shopping, Cyber Monday stuff?
Not really. I'm not much of a shopper. During the season's tough, but yeah, I'll get online a little bit maybe. Tradition-wise, not really. Just kind of go over to one of the guys' houses. I'm having my family over this time for Thanksgiving, so yeah, nice little setup.
Jimmy, you faced the Vikings a couple times. What kind of challenges does their defense present?
Well, they don't give you anything easy. That's where it starts. Their linebackers are really talented, kind of play high to low on things, challenge you in the pass game. With some of the too high stuff, try to take away the play pass and things like that, and it makes it tough on us.
What does it mean the linebackers play high to low?
Just similar to our linebackers, actually. They'd rather play the 10-yard route than the 5-yard route and make you just check it down and march down the field, really.
Yeah, obviously, every game is important, but when you play a game like this, an NFC opponent, both kind of right in the playoff mix, how much awareness is there in the locker room of what this could mean down the line?
I think guys have had that awareness the last couple of weeks, honestly. Our backs were kind of up against the wall, and we've kind of responded pretty well these last couple of weeks. So I think guys have that in their mind already, and we just got to keep riding this momentum we got right now.
How much fun has it been to see Debo play as a wide receiver and a running back for your offense?
I enjoy it. Moving him around, we had a couple formations with guys in different places last week. It just makes it tough on defense to communicate, especially if they're a man, and some of those situations could get hard on them. So it's been awesome. He embraces it. Not many receivers want to be getting handoffs between the tackles, but he embraces that stuff.
The last time you guys played at home, you won. I'm sure you probably could have done without the wave while your guys were on offense. But
I did notice that.
Just the atmosphere, the game, prime time now, kind of a playoff type of game. What do you need from fans, or what do you guys get from playing out there?
Well, the fans show up every Sunday. They really do, no matter what the circumstances, and you got to appreciate them for that. Just, be loud on third down, get out there early for us, from the kickoff starting, and just be ready to roll. It's going to be an electric atmosphere. They're a good team. They're hot right now, so we know what we're in for.
Seems like Brandon Ayuk's really played well the last couple of weeks, which maybe allows you to use Debo at running back a little bit more. How important has Ayuk's ascension been the last couple of weeks?
Really important for himself, for our team, everything. Just he's made some big strides, and I know everyone's been talking about it and everything, but you got to give the guy credit when credit's due.
Do you think, Kyle said after they made the trade in March that you stayed healthy and played well, that would be a great problem for the 49ers. Meaning, and the decision for 2022, 0 to 7. Have you given a thought? Do you think it's a possibility you could still be here next year?
Yeah, honestly, with the possibilities, I try not to close any doors too early. I don't know. It's one of those situations you just got to let it play out, I think. We got a lot going on with the season and everything right now. If you start thinking about those other things, you just get distracted, I think. But when we cross that bridge, we'll assess everything then.
Hey, Jimmy, with the way you guys have played the last 2 weeks and really dominated, you mentioned awareness in the locker room. Was there any chatter about being flexed out of that Seattle game and taking that game out of prime time?
Not really. I heard about it. Really doesn't matter when or where we play. Just get us on a football field.
DeLon Jennings out there the last couple of games. What does he bring to the offense and the team with his, style of play and also his bubbly personality?
Yeah, it's a good mixture, because he is having a good time out there, but he is locked in at the same time. You saw it in the Jacksonville game when he got into that little scuffle with the guy. He kept his cool. I was right next to him, and he was smiling, laughing it off. And it's tough for a guy to do that in that situation. But you got to, for a young guy, it's pretty impressive. Yeah, I picked up his helmet for him. So.
You guys have had back-to-back games with 40 or more rushes. Do you think that's sustainable? And is that kind of the formula for you guys to get the win?
It's any football team that rushes for 40 times. I think you're gonna have a good day offensively, but. I think, we've done it in the past. It's worked for us well. Our offense seems to adapt week to week, and whatever the defense is giving us, we try to, take advantage of that.
What kind of advantage do you guys get with them having to shuffle their defensive line personnel so much in the last 2 years?
Yeah, it's, a big advantage for us. I think, the guys stepping in are no slouches either, so we got to be ready for that. But, Yeah, I mean, that's just the NFL. It's that time of year, everyone's dealing with something, and next man up mindset.
Eric, last one.
The first series you had against the Jags, 20-play drive, and the second one, I think we should have had throw to Wilson. Sorry to bring this up, but the point is, I think every skill position player there, on the field was in a different position. Like Debo was a running back, George was a fullback, and then Kyle said, that was they were man coverage. Can you just explain to dummy, like, why is that? Why does that put a defense in a line when you have the fullback lined up at wide receiver and their man?
Well, we were going quick too. So, I mean, the rush up to the line of scrimmage, our guys were set immediately. It's just hard for defenders to find their guys. I mean, the corner's used to the receiver being right here, and now all of a sudden he's lined up at fullback. I mean, it's tough, and it happened so quick that defenses, like the one to Jeff, it wasn't even designed for Jeff, but I saw him flash out of the corner of my eye and try to make a play on it, missed it. But it's just with those plays, you got to be ready for anything because they could mess it up or they could play it perfectly too. All right, thanks, guys. Happy Thanksgiving.
In the bird or out of the bird?
Let's get this out of the way. What's your favorite Thanksgiving dish?
Favorite Thanksgiving dish? It's underrated. I'd say green bean casserole. Yeah, because you're not gonna eat it. You're not gonna eat it anywhere else except for Thanksgiving. So, fire.
Tell us your favorite Thanksgiving traditions, and then also, do you do any Black Friday or Cyber Monday shopping?
I try not to get involved in the Black Friday shopping. They're just baiting you to spend your money. Thanksgiving traditions, being around family, friends, eating good food, obviously, pretty traditional. So.
I have to ask, speaking of Thanksgiving, being that your mother is half Mexican, is there anything you add from your culture, like Mexican culture?
I think growing up we had a pretty traditional Thanksgiving meal, I'd say. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, as much as I want to say something, we did have something in there, kind of show some Latino heritage. But I don't think so. Right. Maybe rice was thrown in there one year. Yeah.
I appreciate that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Speaking of cooks,
There you go. Now, a little football, good.
Look at Dalvin.
There you go. Punny.
What do you guys have to do defensively to stop him?
I mean, he's one of the best backs in the league. We got to make sure that we're penetrating up front. Everybody's in their assigned gaps. We have great eyes, and that we're just physical, knocking back because he's one of the best at being a one-cut back. Trying to be decisive, get downhill, being explosive through those holes. So if one guy's out of a gap and he's going to see it, he's going to find it and exploit us. So we got to make sure we're on top of it.
Last time, in the playoffs here, obviously playoff atmosphere for the playoff games against the Vikings and the Packers. Did you feel that same atmosphere was present for that game against the Rams, and then what do you expect on Sunday?
Yeah, no, it was a great atmosphere. The fans have been great, kind of just sticking by us through the good and the bad. And I feel like that Monday night game was electric. For sure, that same type of feel as what we had the last time we played Minnesota. And, I expect the same coming out this game. We're on a 2-game win streak. We're going for 3 now. every week we're trying to just make it 1-0, you know. So I think it should be great.
Coach Ryan was just in here saying it's almost as simple as just everybody's just doing the fundamentals and doing their jobs in terms of the switch that we've seen the last 2 games from the defense. Is it as simple as that? As you guys are just kind of doing the fundamentals?
Yeah, I think that's just what I mean. That was the inconsistency, you know, early on. Just guys, you know, everybody had their one, you know, their one throughout the game that we wanted back, or that kind of just allowed teams to get those explosive plays on us, and explosive plays usually lead to points. And so when we limit those, and you know we're assignment sound, guys are attacking the football, we're able to create those takeaways. That's what, you know, has helped our team win games.
Arden Key's got like sacks in the last 3 games, and but did you see things from him before he got the sacks that indicated to you that he was ascending and was going to be a factor?
Oh yeah, 100%. Just the way that he's progressed through training camp, through preseason, through the regular season. His effort is, I think, one of the best out of the entire group. You know, and I think that's going to translate. If you're practicing hard, you're playing hard, those big plays are going to come. So he's been doing a great job.
Last week you mentioned that there was some sort of pressure when you got that big contract, that, you know, you finally kind of snapped out of it. Was there a moment, or did someone just come and be like, dude, get over it? You got the contract, get it together?
Sure. I mean, there's been plenty of people in the building who've shared words of encouragement throughout this year, and it's also just been me just kind of buckling down, and you know, I'm built the right way where I'm going to figure it out no matter what, you know, and so it's just kind of just digging yourself out of there and making sure that you remember who you are.
I guess just you talked, I think, last couple weeks pretty candidly about, you know, not being happy with all your performance and your struggles. You've always been real professional. You're great with the media, but I don't know if you've been as introspective. Maybe it's just because you're talking about something different. But do you feel more, I guess, comfortable in that role as kind of one of the public leaders in the team?
I mean, I've always kind of felt that way. I take the role as a leader of the team, and you know, in any aspect of either talking to you guys or talking in front of the team, in front of just my guys. That's just who I am. I'm never going to be anything outside of myself, and you know, I'm comfortable with who I am, so I have no problem talking about that kind of stuff with you guys, because at the end of the day, I'm just going to be me. All right. Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.